Welcome to the meditation themed month of the Creative Entrepreneurs Group. I intend to give you a hint of what creativity could mean in daily life and entrepreneurship, artistry, and all of that conglomerate of meaningful life stuff every month again. And this is the second month. Stella wants to participate. And yeah, maybe you are already very much into meditation, maybe you're not. I don't know. I have been meditating for 17 years now, approximately, meaning that was since I learned about it, maybe you could say in a more formal way, or at least in a conscious way, that I meant to go there. I meant to go there, to that place where people were doing yoga and meditation, and it was not something unconscious by accident. Of course, I took my time off and I loved my silence, because that's what I already loved my whole life. When you look at it at retrospect, that's often when you see some of these things, right? That you were always meditating. And yeah, for me that was certainly true. I think I always loved to be in my own energy, in my own space for a while, and let the silence in so that I could be entering possibly this space of wholeness and make contact with that again. And sadly, that was in my youth and in my teenage years, alone all the time, only on my own. And maybe what I mean is that when I got consciously into meditation and yoga and that kind of stuff, when I went to a place where you could do it together. And that was a great experience. So I just hope that although this is strangely in the digital atmosphere, I could bring some of that atmosphere to you as well. And of course we can also talk about our experiences in the group, right, isn't it? So, and that could also bring a lot of togetherness, and that's what I hope for us, and that's what my prayer is for us for this month. So meditation. In all of these 17 years, I feel that the most challenging topic of this whole meditation thing is, do I really give myself freedom, or am I in fact pushing myself? Meditation being a time in which you can take 10 minutes per day, 20 minutes per day, for instance, or much longer, or 10 minutes per week. I mean, you have to start somewhere, isn't it? 1 hour per week, whatever you fancy, to feel into where you are. And you might just be finding yourself in a space where you are pushing yourself in all kinds of directions, and isn't that what we do so much of the time? Or it could be me. And it is certainly me, but it could be a very broad thing that we encounter for us all. So that's why I come up with it now. So do I push myself to take that 10 minutes per day? That's maybe the start. I mean, that's where you can start pushing instead of receiving already, isn't it? And then within sitting down for 10 minutes this is my favorite pose. I'm sitting on a cushion which is a bit harder, and then through two cushions on under my knees to have it a bit just a relaxed space, and so that my knees touch the ground via the cushions, and they're not floating, because then you cannot really relax your legs because they're on the ground, right? So that's how you can do that. That's a tip, but that's how I like to sit, and that's how I like to take my 10 to 30 minutes per day I do at this moment. But you could do it however you wish, because you can start where you are. So if you just want to sit on the couch or in your own way, just do it. Well, but there is, of course, some sort of a reason that we tend to sit on a meditation sitting cushion like this, like I do, because then you can really feel your spine straight, and you can also feel how much your spine is not in a natural straight way. By the way, your spine is curvy in a natural way, so don't mistake that. But that's why we sit like this, because then you can really feel if all the pieces, the small pieces of which your spine is built, if they are naturally on top of each other until the tip of your head. And you can also imagine, or rather feel, but maybe the word imagine is not such a strange word here, that you are letting go of all the accumulated extra tension that you actually don't need anymore, having your back straight and the pieces of your spine in a natural way on top of each other, and the tension that is not needed anymore. You can just imagine that you sort of spread it out on top of your head and on the bottom of your spine as well, to the ground, as if there's sort of a waterfall of energy going down, and if there is a sort of how can we say that? Maybe as if there is a wind coming out of your head, spreading what is not needed anymore to the clouds. So these are really good things, because then one of the big bodily stuff that is really carrying you, your spine, is a bit more at rest. But if you just want to sit on your couch, why not? So what I actually wanted to talk about the most in this meditation few minutes in my video is if you are pushing yourself or not. If you give yourself freedom or not, that's a better way of putting it, I think. Because giving yourself freedom is really the key to such a moment. So is, for instance, your breath really free to go wherever it wants to go through your body, in your belly, in your chest, in your shoulders? Do you feel it on the bottom of in your sitting area, in your sexual area, the bottom of your being almost? And do you feel that there is an unrestrictedness in the breath? Well, that's one of the ways to tell. And do you actually feel the whole of your physical body all at once? Do you have a sensory connection that you can feel from the inside out? With your legs, for instance, and your feet, and the soles of your feet. because that is an area that we tend to not really take into account in our wholeness when just being and sitting and feeling. So the thing is, can we just feel where we are in those two areas, for instance? And also not push ourselves to have it a certain way or change it in the moment. When meditation means giving yourself true freedom, letting your mind come to rest, your senses come to rest, your body come to rest, putting your spine straight so that it can let go of the tension that is not needed anymore on top and on the bottom. Do we really give ourselves free? Or are we annoyed that we're so much in our thinking? Because meditation should be not in my thinking, and I should not have a thought. Which is not true, of course. Because I feel the aim of meditation is giving yourself free. So my mind, my thoughts are free to be wherever they are. My breath is free to be wherever it is. So if, for instance, you feel that your legs are not really contributing to the whole and you don't really feel them from the inside out, are you free to experience it like that? Just how it is. That's the freedom we can give ourselves. So, are the legs in the whole, just like other parts of your body. Because in theory, you might say yes, but we're truly free when our legs are relaxed and just as much accessible to feel from the inside out as my chest or my belly or my fingers. That's when I'm free, and I have to work to get there. And meanwhile, I'm saying to myself that I'm not good enough, right? That's how it can go. But that's not freedom. Although in theory we're truly free when our legs are free and our breath is free and can go anywhere. And we feel it indeed, our breath. We feel our breath from the tips of our toes to the tips of our fingers, and it goes in all those places, and we feel that it goes there. But then we think that we have to push ourselves to get there. And once we're there, then we're free. That is the goal of meditation. But then you didn't discover the core of meditation yet. And that is receiving in the now, in this moment, the core freedom of the one that experiences all of that, whatever you experience. And yes, although it's true that technically speaking, you're so much more free when you feel relaxed, and you are so much more free physically when your breath is allowed to go anywhere. Holistically, humanly, that has nothing to do with freedom. Because the truth is that we're truly free in all of these seconds and moments that we experience where we are, exactly where we are. And that's also the door through which an eventual bettering of these experiences, if that's even necessary at all, is accessible in a sustainable way. So yeah, I think that's what I wanted to share today, because I was feeling into that today. And for me at this moment, self-forgiveness is a great theme, which is also a bit the same, right? Self-forgiveness means that you accept where you are, so that you find a door through which true freedom can enter. And if there is any betterment to achieve at all, if that's what we want, through that door is the only sustainable way. So yeah. A good focus to feel out for yourself this month. Maybe you can write down what kind of meditation practice you would like. Sitting on the couch 10 minutes per day, or another version. And then I wanted to address how much meditation is or is not linked to creative entrepreneurship, in the sense that we are thinking about it many times, because we think as a creative entrepreneur we have a creative business based on our creative product or creative service, and then we're busy with selling and helping clients and doing marketing and that sort of thing. So what does meditation have to do with that? Well, maybe my best thought for this moment is that it's very good to feel out for yourself that there is in a way indeed no relation, and that is also the best to see it like that, because we cannot force a relation. And meditation, when you truly go into that moment of opening of that door and no expectation and only giving yourself freedom to feel it out, there cannot be a goal in that moment. There cannot be a let's do this because then my selling will be better. There really cannot be a let's take this moment and the door opens and then I do this because I attract more clients. That disappears there. It goes away there. It, in the sense that it gets just swallowed by the big ocean of freedom. that life really is if you get very close to where life enters you. So that's the contradiction. It really disappears there, all of these forms and intentions, even intentions, right? It sounds very spiritual, but intentions also disappear there. Because you're just swallowed by the big ocean. And then still, having drank from that ocean, stepping into your day, for instance, you do it in the morning and then your day starts as a creative entrepreneur, you might be so different in all of these organized things that you do as a creative entrepreneur. Because you let go in the ocean for one moment, accepting exactly where you are. And that being slightly different when there are also moments of letting go into the ocean of freedom, that is where true growth can happen.